Okay, video I think number 4, we're going to talk about floor. Okay, so floor, it's super hard, right guys? Because we use our lines. And we can't use lines anymore. So what we're going to do is, like I said, just kind of with stretch the same. Like the old tape lines are great indicators of roughly 6 feet apart. So use those as your guides. I want everyone to do strips going this way. So then one strip of a class and one strip of a class. I do not want you using this half of the floor and having 3 girls here, 3 girls behind them, 3 girls behind them. Okay? Because, yeah, just because that makes it harder for groups. So if we all just do the same strips, then no matter what class joins you on floor, they can have a similar strip and the other one can have a similar strip. That way you don't have one going vertical, one going horizontal, and then by the time if a third class gets there, there's no room, you know? So use it in strips. You're gonna have to put them on stations. We used to do this, guys, so it's really just reverting back. But you're gonna have to have them each stand on their spot. You're gonna say, okay, first we're gonna warm up our forward rolls, and you're gonna have to say, every time I count a number, do a forward roll, or do the skill I asked you to do. Okay, 1. Everyone does a forward roll on their spot. They turn around. 2. They do another forward roll. So you're gonna have to do it like that. And then as you count them, instead of before we were able to walk through the lines as they passed you, you're gonna have to, okay, number 1, I'm standing at Susie to spot her. Okay, before I count number 2, I'm gonna go to the next kid, stand at Joe to spot him, and then go on. So that way, each kid is still getting a spot. By no means should I see a coach standing on the side of the floor yelling at their line of kids and not assisting them. That's why we're doing the mask. Obviously, if it's your team kids and they're doing forward rolls, you don't need to spot them. I'm meaning with the little kids. They still need spot for their safety and for their learning. Now, kind of going to more advanced classes like team, anyone that does tumbling essentially. We can't do the lines in the corners. So what, and I haven't done this yet, I promise it will be done by the time you guys get back in the gym. But on the edges of the floor, so like going down this edge and on the other, that's that side where the black rubber is, there will be little blue tape notches on the ground that are 6 feet apart. What we're gonna have to do, and this was what was recommended by USC to handle cross tumbling. And once again, if there's no preschool, use the right floor, you know? But you're gonna have to have them stand on those lines. So how that would work, this is so loud, sorry. How that would work is, let's say, I can't get this stupid camera. Okay, so how that would work is, let's say, boom, Susie finished her tumbling pass here. Then there's a blue notch here. She's gonna stand here as so-and-so moves down to the next blue notch. And if you got your lines picked out, then the last girl should be getting up to the corner, getting ready to go next. So then it'll still move, it's just spreading out your line, if that makes sense. So that's gonna be floor. That one I think is gonna be the hardest one for us as coaches to rework ourselves to. Okay, vault. Vault is another trickier one. So vault, we're all used to the girls standing at the end of the vault runway, all in one line, right? Well, your rec kids don't need to start at the edge of the cement. Realistically, they can start right about here. That's enough running space for them. This is about halfway with the tumble track for a reference. They should be able to stand there and still do their vaults. Obviously, team, where they're going harder skills, yes, they know how far they need to run. So anyway, so what I would do is, get those felt pieces, space out on the vault runway, roughly 6 feet, and you have your lines, kind of like on floor. When you get back to the cement, let's say you have a full class, there's a blue piece of tape there. There's a blue piece of tape here at the corner. Another one here at the corner. One right there. And one right there. And this is another thing that I will have done by the time you get, but there will be a row of blue notches 6 feet apart on the edge of this felt. So those are there to show your kids where they can stand in line. So let's say you've got a class of 9, which you won't unless you're team. you've got them lining up. They can stand on the blue notches to indicate 6 feet apart, and they just move all together as one to the next notch when the next person gets ready to go. The reason why I'm going to do it on this vault runway on the side is for that exact same reason. Let's say you've got kids, they can line up on the blue notches and just, oh, that person went, everyone move down one, then you move down a notch, right? A little trickier that you're going to have to work on. This is mostly for rec kids. Actually, no, it's team 2. Yeah, it's team 2. Team, you know, we've done vault drills typically. You're going to have a station for each kid. And I know that's a lot of vault drills, and there will probably be a lot of repeated ones. That's just going to have, it's just going to have to be how it is, okay? So, let's say rec though, okay? So typically we're here on a mat stack. Let's say it's mat stack week, right? Oh, this is getting hard. All right, so let's say it's mat stack week. You got one kid on mat stack. Let's say Susie's first. Okay, Susie, do your whatever, right? She does her thing, and then she goes to parallel bars. Okay, that's great. Joe, go next. Joe goes. Now, I have to keep Joe at my station until Susie is done with parallel bars, and she goes on to tumble track. Then Joe goes to parallel bars, and he knows, because I told all of them this, that he's going to stay at parallel bars until Susie is off tumble track. So, I've got Joe on parallel bars, Susie on tumble track. Now I'm going to call Mary down. Mary, go! Okay, now I've got 3 kids here, and I've still got 4 more standing on lines. So then Susie gets done with tumble track. She knows to come to this blue notch at the very end of the line. And then Joe goes to tumble track, Mary goes to parallel bars, and I could call the next one. So vault will go a lot slower because we won't be able to just get them in and out, in and out. And so that's going to cause that you can only do probably 1 rotation of vault most likely. Unless you've got the older kids and they understand how the line thing is working and they can get that down. As far as the rope goes, that is one of the things I was concerned about. We can't have them all sitting on the crash mat doing tuck jumps. So what you can do is you'll probably have to have them stand on the blue notches. One kid jumps on I would do it after they climb the rope because you don't want them too tired. But you could have one kid climb the rope, then get down. He does 20 tuck jumps on the mat stack while the next kid climbs the rope. And then that kid goes to stand on a blue line. Another kid comes to the rope, so they kind of trade spots. The kid that just climbed the rope goes to the mat stack to do tuck jumps till he's done. So it's going to have to be rotations like that, guys. We're getting creative with it, okay? Let's see. That is floor and vault, and I've only got one more video after this.